Hi everyone. First, let's start with a quick weekly market briefing. Overall, it was another strong week for the stock market. Seems like almost every week we're seeing the all-time new record high. But here is the important part. Not every stock is going up. The market is becoming more divided and stock picking is getting harder. Last week, AI infrastructure companies delivered strong earnings surprises, and that helped push the market to new high again. This is 11th times new record high this year already. However, many AI-related companies already have moved up very high and quickly in the short term. At this point, chasing them aggressively feels risky and uncomfortable. That is exactly why I prepared today's video. If you missed today's video, you might end up saying the same things again. So, if you don't want to regret again, please watch this video today. The biggest global sports event on earth, the 2026 World Cup, is now only about a month away. So now you have an idea of what today's video is about, but maybe not in the way you expect. When people think about World Cup winners in the stock market, they usually think of sports brands, beer companies, airlines, or hotels. And honestly, that makes sense. During the World Cup, people go crazy for sports. They order chicken, pizza, drink beer, book hotels, travel, and stay glued to the screen. But I think the real big money in the 2026 World Cup is headed somewhere else entirely. We are talking about the sports betting market. The 2026 World Cup will not just be a soccer tournament. It's going to be the first massive mainstream test for sports betting and prediction market in the US. First, let's look at the record from the 2025 NFL Super Bowl. It was the most watched broadcast in US TV history. About 127.7 million people were watching, and peak time was 137.7 million. And legal betting reached an all-time high estimate at over 1.5 billion during the Super Bowl. Now compare that to the 2022 Qatar World Cup final. Globally, about 1.5 billion people watched that match. In the US alone, 26 million people watched the final, which was the record high for United States. So why 2026 is special? Because it's happening right here. In the US, for the US market, this is huge. Qatar was a terrible time zone for Americans. Early morning or midday matches while people were still at work. But 2026, it's on our time. In our stadiums, with our media and our ads. Plus, the scale has exploded. We are going from 32 teams to 48 teams now, totaling 104 matches. More matches mean more events to bet on. It is not just who wins, it scores, player stats, live in-game betting, and tournament advancement. In 2018, sports betting became legal in the United States at the federal level, and this policy shift helped companies like DraftKings and FanDuel skyrocket. In a way, it was similar to 1931 when Nevada legalized casino gambling and Las Vegas began its rise as America's gambling capital. Betting is become part of the culture. People don't just watch anymore, they participated. They open the app, check the spread, and bet in real time. I also had bet several times when I was watching NFL and NBA. Even I just bet $10, it was absolutely changed the excitement. Okay, so these are three companies I think investors should pay attention right now. First company, Flutter Entertainment. The number one sports betting brand in the US by market share. This is a play on scale and brand dominance. The biggest risk for betting company is the one-hit wonder user, someone who bets on the World Cup and then deletes the app. But Flutter is the king of retention. Their data proves that World Cup fans don't just leave, they stay and become long-term high-value customers. Look at the history. After the 2022 World Cup, Flutter's ability to monetize and retain users led to massive re-rating, And also in just 3 years following the Qatar event, the stock skyrockets by 400%. If you're looking for the most stable data-backed way to play the 2026 cycle, Flutter is your anchor, and then the stock price looks very attractive right now. Number 2, DraftKings, the fans' favorite company. If you want to simplest investment logic, this is it. The World Cup hits North America. Engagement spikes. DraftKings wins. It's the most recognized betting brand in the US, making it the first app millions will download this summer. The 2026 tournament is massive. For DraftKings, that means mega event to acquire new users. More games equal more betting volume, which equals higher revenue expectation. Never underestimate the World Cup effect. DraftKings and FanDuel showed legendary rally post 2022. The stock price exploded 400% over the following 3 years. This isn't speculation, it's proven growth cycle that is about to reset for the North America stage. Many users probably use the Robinhood for crypto investment and stock investment, but here is another thing. Sports betting is fascinating, but there is one major issue. It is not legal in every state yet. Currently, sports betting is legal in 39 states, while 11 states still do not allow it, including Texas and California, two of the biggest sports markets in the country. But here is the real plot twist. Event contract. This is different from traditional betting. Instead of saying, I bet Brazil wins, you buy a yes contract that pay out $1 if Brazil wins. And this is where Robinhood entered the chat. Robinhood started to jump into this market last year March, and in 2026 first quarter alone, Robinhood saw 8.8 billion event contracts traded. While it carries higher regulatory risk, the upside is unparalleled. If event contracts go mainstream during the World Cup, we are looking at the most explosive dark horse in the market. Crypto trading has been one of Robinhood's major income drivers, but as the crypto market slowed down, Robinhood's revenue was also somewhat sluggish. However, if sports betting and crypto market will recover together, I believe Robinhood could easily break above its previous all-time high and potentially run into new record high. So now, what do you guys think? Don't you agree that sports betting will be big 2026 in America? The 2026 World Cup isn't just a sports event, it's a massive customer acquisition engine for the betting companies. These companies use the World Cup to bring people in, and then they keep them for the NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball season. The 400% in 3 years rally we saw after 2022 wasn't a fluke. It was the result of fundamental shift in how America consumes sports. With the tournament now on home soil, the stakes are even higher. Thank you for watching my video today. If you're cheering for your national team, please hit the like button and subscribe. See you soon!